Well, caring for a parent, spouse, or other loved one is a labor of love that comes with a lot of responsibilities. While it's hard to put a price on this assistance, the fact is it often comes with real costs for caregivers, financial and emotional. Being prepared for that financial part is critical for peace of mind. Amity recently talked with Linda Davenport from BECU and Ben Vecti from Washington Cares Fund.
I think it's important that a caregiver understand all of the expenses that their loved one has in their life. That includes any mortgage payments, rent payments, utilities, transportation, any and all expenses that they are responsible for. That's first and foremost. I would say the next thing would be understanding what your loved one's income and asset availability is, right? What kind of income do they have? What kind of assets do they have that would be available to support their care needs? Then I think as a caregiver, it's important to understand your own personal financial situation. What income sources do you have? What assets do you have available? I think oftentimes caregivers just start assisting financially without really having a clear understanding of even if they have the financial wherewithal to be able to help their loved one.
Are there things that we commonly forget to check into?
Well, I think some of the things that people forget to think about is looking at, well, first of all, asking for help, right? From siblings, from other family members, caregivers, in my experience by nature. I am also a caregiver. We tend to own everything and we tend to want to do everything and not ask for help. So I think asking siblings and other family members if they have the ability to help financially is super important to do. Also looking at what other resources are available. Are there insurance policies that your family member has? Maybe health insurance that your loved one family member has that can potentially assist in paying for some of these expenses.
That's such good advice. It really is. And asking for help is so key. I think you just feel like it's all on your shoulders. So thank you for that reminder.
Sure.
Ben, there's a new resource launching this year that's going to help Washingtonians prepare for their futures and future caregiving long-term care needs. Tell us more about the WA Cares program, the WA Cares program that we've all heard so much about.
You're right. WA Cares is an important new resource that will be available to families in our state. In a way, it's another asset that families can rely on as they're trying to figure out how to pay for long-term care. 7 in 10 of us are going to need long-term care, and only the most affluent among us can afford to purchase and maintain a private long-term care insurance policy, not just while we're working, but also throughout retirement on a fixed income. And the state spent years researching a way to provide affordable long-term care insurance to everyone in the state. And they studied that from 2014 to 2019 and ultimately enacted the WA Cares Fund, which works a lot like Medicare, where we all pay in a little bit of every paycheck from our first job to our last. And in return, when we need care, when we're older, we have access to it. That's what WA Cares does. And it's going to empower families to better cope with the challenge when a loved one needs care.
Yeah, I know that there was a lot of criticism and frustration about it in the beginning, but it is reassuring to know that the state spent so much time researching this. And so I'm just curious, what are some examples of the services and supports we're going to be able to pay for using the WA Cares Fund?
Sure. I think we've seen a big transition in our thinking as a society about long-term care during the pandemic and since, where I think previously most people thought long-term care meant nursing home care, but more and more people are realizing that long-term care doesn't need to be in a nursing home. It can be in your own home. In fact, we expect 80% or more of WA Cares beneficiaries to use their benefits in order to stay in their own home as they age. That's really what the program is designed for, where you can make a loved one a paid caregiver, or you can hire a professional home care aide, or you can use your benefits to provide respite care for an unpaid family caregiver, or put grab bars in the bathroom to make the home safer to age in place in. So all of those types of things.
What else should we consider, Linda, when we're considering our finances and we're looking at that?
Individuals that are caregivers oftentimes have their own personal retirement accounts, and they're protected assets, but taking money from them early or unnecessarily can come with some consequences, and that could be tax consequences, penalties, or a reduction in your own future ability to care for yourself as you're aging too. So those are things that you definitely need to keep in mind. Being a caregiver can be time consuming. It's stressful for sure. As you support support your loved one. Make sure that you continue to pay attention to your financial situation and your emotional well-being, because if you're not doing well, you're going to have trouble taking care of someone else.
For more tips and tools around planning for caregiver finances, you can go to the website on your screen. And AARP also offers a free financial workbook for family caregivers that you can download on that site.